GB News presenter Dan Wooten pathetically, as rumors do have it, indicates that he apparently is leaving the UK to Scotland. Well, we all do know the pathetic incident that really has engulfed the former GB News presenter after he used a fake account just to get nude pictures from his own colleagues. He's still under investigation, but the shocker we get indicates that he is shamefully exiting from the UK. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to do exactly what Dan Wooten has been up to, shamefully leaving the UK to Scotland. We'll find out in this interesting report. But do well to subscribe to our platform. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section. Join today's episode. Let's get interactive. Now, if you have been following the story about Dan Wooten, it is no news that this really would pop up, because this man has been really through some drill after GB News suspended him and, of course, lay him off also from Mail Online, which, of course, was his source of income, major income over them. Now, reports do say that Dan Wooten currently, as we do speak, is vacating the UK and, of course, moving to Scotland. That's where he apparently comes from. But he is basically was in the UK just for purposes of business sake. Now, this is an interesting development coming in, because I don't know who gave him the audacity to leave the UK, because he's still under investigation, right? So what really was, is he going to do in Scotland? What really is happening? Has the investigation ceased already? Has the findings about the police finding really been brought out already? And what really has, the findings been talking about? Well, it's something that we have to know in the public domain, because this is someone who was absolutely going in for nude pictures of his own colleagues that he was working with. And I don't know why he basically would have to do that. Like, this is a person that is very dangerous. So why is he moving from the UK to Scotland? What really is he going to do there? Well, we'll find out, and of course, we're bringing you up to speed of information about what Dan Wooten really will be doing in Scotland. But just in case you really want to know who he is, well, let's do enjoy. He's very passionate, also very good at what he does. But sometimes also he's very, very notorious, and these instances is what we call him notoriously for. So do enjoy Dan Wooten.
Up here. Surely, at some point, common sense and personal responsibility must prevail in a free and democratic society over draconian and authoritarian government controls dictating the way we live our lives and run our businesses. 20 months into this pandemic, with over 90% of the adult population estimated to have COVID antibodies, including 80% double jabbed and 25% triple jabbed, the march from the mainstream broadcast media and politicians to lock down the country again is well and truly on. Of course, it's as a result of the Omicron scariant, without any firm evidence that this new strain will definitely evade or even weaken our vaccines. Boris Johnson went into full-on panic mode. A Saturday night emergency press conference unleashed mask mandates, punishable with hundreds of pounds in fines, 10 days self-isolation for perfectly healthy folk, and new day 2 PCR testing and isolation requirements for anyone re-entering the country that sound the death knell for the tourism industry. But even then, it wasn't enough for our COVID-obsessed, lockdown fanatical broadcast media. Just listen to the questions asked of Boris and that doomsday duo, Chris Whitty and Patrick Vallance, by the BBC, Sky News and ITV.
At a previous press conference that you have to go hard and you have to go early. Arguably, you're going early, but not hard. This is falling short of full Plan B with advice to work from home, vaccine passports and so on. Have people amongst your sage advisors been pushing for full Plan B now? And if not, why not?
Have you modelled the potential spread of this new variant over the next few weeks and months? What picture does that show? And can we really rule out lockdowns as a result of what you know about this variant?
Prime Minister, there'll be people watching this wondering why you're not going further into Plan B and ordering people to work from home, if that might help us actually have something towards a normal Christmas and reduce the spread. Also, things like having vaccine passports and using the check-in apps once again. So why aren't you doing that at this point?
And then, Immediately following the awful announcement, who did the BBC drag out to comment? The lockdown-obsessed Professor Susan Mickey, who sits on the government's SAGE committee as a health psychologist and is a self-declared Communist Party member. Honest, I'm not making that up. She said she was talking in a personal capacity and, of course, wanted an immediate set of new control measures enforced on us all, just like she's wanted every single moment since March 2020.
I welcome all the measures that have been suggested, but I'm very surprised that he hasn't gone further, especially in the light of the WHO, the World Health Organization, and Patrick Vallance, our chief scientific advisor, saying that you must go early and go Health Organization and Patrick Vallance, our chief scientific advisor, saying that you must go early and go hard in these situations. You go quickly. You don't wait until you know everything. Dr. Ryan from the WHO says you always must be ahead of the curve, ahead of the wave in any pandemic. We must learn the lessons from the mistakes we've made in the past. And I have to say that this is Plan B light. What we should have had is Plan B plus.
The broadcast media in this country is broken. Today, GB News launched our first national advertising campaign where we promise to ask the questions the BBC won't. So here goes. Here's what I would have asked. Is there any evidence the Omicron variant evades existing vaccines or increases hospitalisations or deaths? If you are unsure regarding the efficacy of vaccines on Omicron, then why is your solution to open up the vaccine booster programme to all ages? Given Omicron is already in the country, how on earth does shutting the borders and imposing costly PCR tests and self-isolation on travelling Brits help? Why have you punished South Africa by introducing yet another harmful travel ban, given it's used its advanced science to identify this variant and give the world a head start? Where is the evidence masks work? Why are school kids having to wear masks in communal spaces when the Education Secretary was able to party maskless with teachers at an awards bash last night? Have a look. This was Nadeem Zahawi in a packed, non-ventilated room enjoying the Pearson National Teaching Awards held at the Brewery in London. Of course, the delightful usual be kind trolls and the left-wing media are determined to take away personal choice on whether we live our lives muzzled, like LBC's resident hate preacher James O'Brien, who equated those who question the logic of wearing masks to the Ku Klux Klan. He tweeted, "Weird how many racists hate wearing masks. They used to love hoods." Or the hate-filled comedian Jenny Eclair, who said in a now-deleted tweet, "I'm on an intercity train on Monday. If people who aren't exempt aren't wearing a mask, am I allowed to punch them in the face?" Of course, it was only last year that the so-called experts were trying to assure us all that the use of face coverings was completely futile.
There's no evidence that